So you're looking at writing up your train lab write-up. This is your first write-up of the year, so this is good you're watching this video, because this video is going to talk about what you need to do each lab and then specifically for this lab write-up. So on each lab write-up, you will want to follow the lab expectations and rubric. That is your blue packet, okay? That has the lab expectations and rubric in it. It also has the process problem expectations, example, and rubric in it. So follow those expectations and rubric. Now in some labs, like for instance this train lab, we don't have any graphs that you need to add to your lab, so you can omit the section on graphs. Okay? Turn your lab in early for feedback. This is huge. If you turn your lab in 4 days before it's due, I'm going to look at it, I'm going to make some corrections, I'm going to make some little post-it note comments, I'm going to hand it back to you. You get to make changes and turn it back in. If you turn it back in again early, you get to, and there's nothing wrong, I put an A on it, it's in the grade book. If there's something still needs to be worked on, I'll hand it back to you, you get another chance. Turning it in early gets you chances. Now if you turn it in the days before it's due, there's not that chance for that feedback. I'll give you feedback, but by the time you get it back, it's not going to have time to turn it in when it's due, which is, it's due on the day of the test before you start taking the test. So you have to turn it in and then you can take the test, okay? If you don't have it done by the time of the test, that's not acceptable. So for this lab, we're going to focus on the procedure. Each lab you do is going to have a certain focus. And we're going to talk about it in class, but I'm also going to put it in a video for each lab. So the focus for this lab is the procedure. And the reason we're focusing on it is because you designed the procedure. So what you need to be able to do is you need to write out what you did. I timed the train to go 1 meter. Okay. Now you need to tell me how exactly did you do that. Don't tell me how someone else would do it. Tell me exactly what you did in the lab. So for instance, maybe you said, all right, I started the train with the back wheels up, turned it on, and then held the stopwatch and set it down and started the stopwatch. And I started the train behind the end of the meter stick, and when it got to the other end of the meter stick, I stopped the stopwatch. Tell me exactly what you did. Or I dropped it and Tommy timed it. Okay? Tell me who was doing what. All right? And then the last thing you need to do is you've told me what you did, you told me how you did it. Now, why did you do it that way? So why did you design that setup that way? Why did you decide to design how you were going to collect the data in that way? Why did you decide to let it go a full meter instead of a half meter? What was your justification for that? Okay, so you need to have a justification for your design features. You need to tell me how exactly you did it, so I know, and then what you were doing when you did it. There you go.